The pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let the record show that all is present and we do have a quorum. I'd like to say opening of prayer and those that feel like to join in with me. Oh, gracious Father, we thank you for your many blessings that you bestowed upon the citizens of Shoshoni and our employees. I ask you for your continued guidance and blessings that you've given us. In this, I thank you in your name. Amen. 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 Approval of the agenda.
I move we approve the agenda with the following amendment. Under business, under new business, add a workshop for the continuous zoning process.
Do you have any other adjustments to the agenda?
I second the motion.
Been moved by Councilman Zant to approve the agenda with the addition of and under new business add a workshop for zoning. Second by Councilman Stetler. Is there any further discussion? None being, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, the same. Motion passed, all in the affirmative. Communications from citizens.
Evening, Mayor. My name is Freddie Ellis, and I've got a couple of things for you real quick. First of all, I went to the VFW meeting, and after some investigations, that I am authorized now to do the honor guard services for veterans that have passed away. So I'm authorized to do that now. I had to do some little things, and also number two, I am also. I talked to a few people in town here, and one of them wanted to know about the ambulance. If the ambulance would be, what would be the cost for the citizens here versus whatever, if we have a grant or whatever for that.
Explain that, what are you talking about?
Well, the new ambulance we're getting, okay?
We have one.
Oh, you have one, okay, so would that increase the citizens' cost for that, or is it just all paid?
Are you talking about some sort of tax?
Yes, yes, sir.
Currently structured, no.
Okay.
Chris has really been the spearhead of that, and he can answer better than I can, but that's not in our structure, I believe.
Yeah, basically, hopefully soon we'll have the state come up with their inspection and give us our certification to operate, but the cost of it was mainly a few years ago. But no ongoing costs per se. It would be self-sustaining as far as there would be costs if you utilized it, of course, but as far as taxes.
I see. Okay, awesome. And just one more thing real quick. I understand there's a feral cat problem. I have one person that would like to try to humanely trap these, feral cats and take them to Riverton or Lander, wherever she wants to take them to, and have them spayed or neutered for free, and then we could let them out here. Once we pick them up, do that surgery, and then bring them back here. What do you think of that? I mean, is that any?
I personally think it's a good idea.
Okay.
I don't know, I can't speak, I can only speak for
There is
myself.
programs out there that will do that.
Okay, because I know she said it's gonna be where she goes, the spading and neutering it's free. So I'm just kind of curious on what's going on with that.
Years ago, I don't know if they still do. Not paying attention, but there used to be. People from Riverton to drop off cats and dogs over in Shoshoni all the time.
Yeah, we deal with dogs like the police department. We don't deal with cats.
Right.
But I will say, be careful with trapping because we, some people trap people's actual cats.
Right.
And that's hard to determine sometimes between feral, because some of these cats that are feral, people feed them, so they become kind of domesticated, so they seem pretty docile, but they're actually feral,
Mhm.
vice versa. So that would be my only thing is if you accidentally trap somebody's cat that's a pet, there might be a little bit of complaining.
And then in Hudson, didn't they find some cats with some kind of weird deal? So be kind of careful.
Exactly.
I got a free roaming chicken that showed up at my house. And it's underneath my porch.
Oh, wow.
And it's, I don't know what's gonna come out for water, may come out tonight, but it's underneath my porch. I think we called town hall, posted on Facebook, anybody's missing a chicken. It's kind of hard to get under there. If my knee was better shape, I could crawl in there and see if I may have eggs.
Mhm.
You know,
Wait.
and I may start feeding it. I don't know.
Mhm.
You gotta have a permit for chickens.
Yeah.
Well, it's a feral chicken.
It
It's a feral chicken.
Go to,
And I think it's whipped the cats in the neighborhood.
Mhm.
was hanging out together.
I can go deliver to KFC if you want.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah.
Well, Mayor Highsmith, Chief, thank you very much, and talk to you later. Thank you.
You bet. Anybody else, please?
Hello, council. Thank you for having me on. My name is Scott Hayes. I'm the executive director for Fremont Counseling Service, and I appreciate the time for public comment. So our organization is doing a fundraiser called the Safe Shoot, and I do have some flyers with some information on the back for just to leave and for y'all to have. We're raising awareness and funding for suicide prevention and uncompensated care in this area. I'm so grateful for Mayor Highsmith helping us to the tune of helping us get access to your shooting range for this event. It's going to be held on September 7th, 2024 from 9 to 3. We'll be able to have that park area close by for a chuck wagon lunch, but we're just having a real super simple fun, family-oriented, safe shoot, 22 caliber, open sight, no scope. One competition for the adults and one for the kiddos. $10 for 10 rounds for the grown-ups and $5 for 5 rounds for the kids. Have some nice prizes. We're giving away a couple of safes. You know, our basic message here is that, you know, safe handling and safe use and safe storage, firearms save lives in this area. And for a little bit of my 3 minutes left, nationally, you know, the method by which most people complete suicide is with the use of a firearm. In Wyoming, it tends to be higher. And in Fremont County, those last year it was 100%. And so our message is to partner with the gun community. I mean, nobody wants suicide to be a part of anybody's experience. And we just believe that some common sense measures between trusted family, trusted friends, and just common sense conversation amongst folks in the right time, in the right place, you know, can do a world of good and keep things local where a person can be work through their issues locally, maybe instead of going somewhere else for it. And a safe or a good storage can help that. And so we're just wanting to have a good event and raise awareness. And again, I'm really grateful for the partnerships that we have had, both with the mayor here and with, I'll shout out to CWC and their security office, which is helping us plan the event and provide for a well-planned event. We really appreciate their wisdom and insight in terms of getting some of this done. This is pretty brand new for us. So that's my pitch, and I appreciate your time. Any questions?
Scott,
Yes, sir.
one thing, this is not an anti-gun event. This is a pro-gun event. It's
100%.
just just trying to educate the public on the dangers, awareness of suicide and what a problem it is in our society, especially in Fremont County.
The message here is not about getting rid of guns. It's about common sense handling of them.
Yes,
That's all, and especially in times of need. And that's what we're all about. So that's the message.
this is, a great program, and Fremont Counseling does good things in our county and trying to help people. There's many issues.
I would invite people to call me. Kim here has my phone number. So if you wanted to grab that from her, you can get my email address also from Joel, I believe. And so I'll answer your questions, I'll have a conversation. There was a kind of a nice mental health matters deal today on County 10. They finally published that. So there's a kind of more of an interview on that with County 10 today. So that went well.
Yeah, if we can get everybody that's here or online wants to spread the word.
Yeah, we'd love to have people come on down. Again, we'll have a chuck wagon lunch to raise some money. We'll have a silent auction, and we'll have this nice shoot out there.
If we
Appreciate that.
invite people from all over the county.
Yeah,
Wow.
we're actually getting word across the state. I've had
Yeah.
interest from other parts of the state.
You bet.
So that's nice. Is it okay if I just leave these here, or where would you like them?
Give them yeah,
Okay, that works.
Kim will take care of it. You bet. Thanks a lot, Scott.
Thanks.
Appreciate you.
Thanks, Mike.
I had a question, but you used the comment uncompensated care. Beginning, what does that mean?
Yes, sir. There are certainly times when we are working with people in the midst of their crisis, and there's just end up being no way where that end up having that person gets the care that they need, and that we get paid for it. There are and we don't know exactly what that number is going to be like that this next year. But there will be some times when we are simply unable to track that person down later, or to follow them up with some, to find out what happened. And at that point in time, that's uncompensated care. So we just want to have a way to help support our total effort, and not just like the very front. So that's what I meant by that. That's a good question.
Any more questions?
All right, well.
Anybody
really
from the
appreciate-
audience? We have anybody online? Okay,
Appreciate your time.
thank you. Thanks for coming over. Any other communications from citizens? None being. The consent agenda. Approve the minutes of July 23rd, 2024, July 30th, 2024 workshop, and July 30th, 2024 special meeting. And approval of the bills, July 24th, 2024 through August 13th, 2024. And a motion to approve.
Move we approve the consent agenda.
Been moved by Councilman Steller. Can I have a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Councilwoman Hartke. Discussion,
I have some questions on some bills.
okay?
On the bill to Fremont Motors for the AC and the clutch, what vehicle was that?
Charger.
Okay, still being worked on?
No, that was the
Tahoe
Silverado.
or Silverado
That was a Silverado.
Oh,
pickup.
AC was Matt's truck. Okay.
So you got two bills there?
That was just one.
One, okay.
Yeah.
Two vehicles,
Yeah, there's just one vehicle, but it was left over when they replaced the engine under warranty. They should have replaced that, but that wasn't a warranty part, and so it kind of languished, and then the summer hit. OEC, so
okay. Tell me about the snake.
The snake.
Snake in the staff restroom.
Yeah,
That's the tool that they use to snake out.
Oh, I'm like, a snake? You freaked me out there, Bob. What snake?
Yeah, so is this building or?
That's part of
That's our-
the ongoing issue
That we,
with the
Yes.
plumbing, that we have to periodically call them out.
It's about every 3 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks.
Okay,
Because when I call them, I say, all right, it's been our 3 weeks, we're collecting it.
And that's partially with the retainage that we withheld
okay,
last year, but yeah, we're getting expenses this year, but that would.
The drainage problem?
Yeah, it's,
it's a sewer line needs,
It's
we need to
yeah.
replace some of that sewer line, which should have been done during construction and they didn't do it, remember, yeah.
because it has a drop. And so everything is getting stuck.
Instead of a sweep.
It was on a
Yeah.
flow.
It does, yeah.
okay,
And they were saying also, that we don't have enough pressure, water in our toilets, possibly to flush, to really force past that. If that makes sense. Did to me.
okay. Well, last question, the tank cleaning for the water tank, that's higher than I thought it was supposed to be.
She
Yeah.
explained that one.
That's that's because they could not access the road. So they charged us $22.50.
Well, they couldn't, they were pulling a trailer with their pickup to get in there, they could not they couldn't get up there with the trailer, had to leave the trailer and then bring everything up and shuttle.
Okay,
So they charged
Yeah.
us $22.50 extra. That's why it's more.
well, that's, I
Yeah.
thought it was supposed to be around 5,000,
Mhm.
and so
You're
that's
right.
surprising, so that's,
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
me too.
And Mike Quiver too.
well, I was just asking questions about what's
Correct.
going on.
Yep, perfect.
As you're supposed to.
That's all I have, questions on the bills.
And do you have any questions on the minutes?
No,
No. Anybody else have any questions? None being, all in favor to approve the consent agenda, say aye. Aye. Pose the same. Motion passed all in the affirmative. Down to permits. Anything in between? Special permit consumption. Letha Hendrickson, Shoshoni Recreation District. Want to speak about on that? Clerk, or who has that?
Do you want me to just read it?
Chief, we got.
Yeah, it's just for September 14th from 1:30 to 3 PM. They're having a wooden. Okay, I'm not sure how you pronounce that word.
I don't know either.
Charcuterie.
It's shark,
Jocular?
shark shittery. I think it's something like that. It's pretty close to that.
That's what I was told. Maybe Mark could read this.
I move we
You got
approve
a
the,
question to read, Bob?
I move we approve the permit.
Okay,
I'll second.
been moved by Councilman Stettler, seconded by Councilman Harkey, that we approve the special permit consumption at the rec district. Any further discussion? None being, all in favor, say aye. Aye, both same, motion passed, all affirmative. Building permit, Lynn Thompson Crossroads, I believe they're building a fence.
Yeah, they're gonna build a fence like that.
Yeah.
I'll
Because they're
approve it.
having a lot of problems. They're gonna build it around the whole border, like starting right.
It's a
behind
buck
us.
rail fence.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, is that, okay,
And then to help, yeah, go ahead.
yep, and then down Third, and then to the end of their property on California. Cause they're having, she said they're having a lot of people with dogs. that they're coming and just letting them use their property and then not cleaning it up. So they're trying to curtail it.
And also she mentioned they were having people running over their sprinkler system,
Yeah,
and they put up some posts temporarily and not fence, but that's try to protect their sprinkler systems, sprinkler heads.
We'll approve this.
Been moved by Councilman Harkey to approve the building permit for Crossroads RV Park. Can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Stetler. Any further discussion? None being, all in favor, say aye. Aye, both same, motion passed on the affirmative.
Why don't we down as abstain, please?
So. Business license, John Baxter. Event Inc.
this is the company that is doing the power.
Okay,
Is it?
yes,
Yeah, he filled us up in online, so.
Yeah.
I didn't speak with him.
and that's normal. They doing anything new, or this is install, service, monitor, just maintenance type, looks like to me, correct?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah, okay. Have a motion to approve.
Move we approve the business license.
Been moved by Councilman Stetler. Can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Vent that we approve business license. uh, For Vivint Inc. Any further discussion? Questions?
Business license. It's not a
But-
building permit
I
or
know,
nothing.
but what exactly are they doing?
What's it?
Oh, it's a team.
To
mobile.
install
Yeah.
automated systems.
It just was kind of vague to what it says.
Any,
Okay.
any more discussion? None being, all in favor, say aye. Aye, hold the same, motion passed on the affirmative. Move on down. Town clerk, could you please give us the fiscal year 24 finance, huh?
New business. Then
New business.
Oh, we got, like you amendment, I wrote it on page 1, new business. Let's discuss when would be a good date for a workshop.
Next Tuesday sounds good.
6 o'clock,
6 o'clock sounds good.
that work for you?
Yeah.
You can do that.
Yeah, we can make that
Might go
work.
ranch until Wednesday then.
Usually the 20th at 6 o'clock.
Okay,
Oh, yeah, that ain't gonna work for me. I'll be here, but I'll be late. I gotta vote.
yeah, it's voting day. That was my hesitance.
Oh, okay.
I mean, for some of you
Might-
retired people, you can vote all
might be
day.
other-
For some of us that,
Wednesday,
Huh?
Wednesday.
I got a meeting Wednesday over, we have
so if we just did 7 on Tuesday,
After the polls close.
after
is that when they close?
they close at 7.
Oh, let's get off work and go vote. That's all I know.
Wednesday.
I would be.
Yeah, polls close at 7.
That would work for me if it would work for you guys.
Okay,
So 7.
7 o'clock. We didn't do a motion on that. We don't have to. We just
call
set
in
the
a
meeting.
meeting.
Yeah, we just call a meeting. So I just want to make sure we didn't make a motion and I forgot, but Anyway, 7 o'clock it is. Now. Clerk Treasurer, could you give us a fiscal year 24 financial report?
So, on the first page, you guys, I know you're so used to looking at these reports. The first page is a summary of the general fund. Broken into two types, the capital projects revenue and capital projects revenue. So during the fiscal year 2024, the construction for town hall exceeded the $1 million, but was originally based on the budget of 100,000 paid from a construction loan. All the revenues were below forecasts, and those numbers are on page 2 and 3, the breakdowns for the 105. For general revenue, the 105, 783.21, and the intergovernment, 53,318.16. That's on page 3. So the breakdown are there on how those numbers were derived. The goal was to limit utilization of savings transfer for town hall construction. So while the non-capital project accounting shows $20,487 under, the fact is we saved $172,095 from being drawn down from savings while paying over $200,000 more on town hall construction. This was accomplished by diverting all the available unused budgeted expenses towards town hall construction. While we try to ensure final overall general fund is as close to zero as possible, the summary sheet is only a representation of accounting without adjustments. So that $20,487.57 that shows as a negative, that does not have any kind of adjustments in it, so that you can see exactly, it shows a true representation. As it falls within the overall general fund, monies utilized for town hall construction from the non-capital projects portion of the general fund as presented are a reflection of end of year without adjustments. In essence, I could reduce the funds utilized from the non-capital projects department, which would then show the final year end as zero, and would reduce the capital project year end to 28,337.61. And the general fund as a whole year end would still be the 28,337.61 as it's shown. And then also just to point out, as a treasurer, I work with real close with the grant coordinator who provides me really the input on revenues that are coming from the grants. So his input is extremely important, you know, where we're at for revenues. Oh, one other point that I wanted to mention is that in these numbers, there's a couple more points. In these numbers that you're seeing, the expenses, the total expenses of the 1,103,000 at the very top, that consists of 26,962.91 over expenses for revenues that we have not yet received that are going to come in fiscal year 25. So that would have changed that number also. So we had to carry over in revenue from one fiscal year to the next.
Don't pay the bills. I love the bills. Yes. Wow.
You know, part of this, we didn't have project to move along as fast as we thought, so we budgeted quite a bit more money than we spent.
Oh, yeah, because in most of our.
Yeah, on our capital, yes,
Our ARPA stuff didn't really get kicked off till this year,
right,
so we didn't spend as much, or we didn't get reimbursed, we were spending money, but we
Right.
weren't reimbursed, yeah.
yeah.
So I think I just submitted about 20. Roughly, about right around $30,000 that we expended last year, but I couldn't submit it until July. So we spent it last year, but the revenue's not gonna come in until this year. I try to get all that during the budget, but it's hard to predict, you know, in May, what we're gonna spend in June and not be able to get reimbursement until the next months.
And we know we have quite a bit of, well house, gat, all that work that we have budgeted. We're just starting that. So the numbers can be a little deceiving.
Well, I can specifically talk about like the police side, since that's kind of my thing.
Right.
So 2 years ago, not last year, the year before, we ended up having $60,000 more in revenue from fines and fees and all that stuff than was budgeted. But the year prior, we were below. So what happens is things that are written in April, May, June, we budget for it, but people don't always pay right away. And so sometimes they get kicked to the next year. So the number that I gave to the clerk report is on general revenue side for total outstanding for court fines. That's what Kathy and the judge showed that we have outstanding in fines and fees that have been written but not received as far as being closed out as cases from last year. I will mention one thing. I think you know it's not important, but back in February we had a letter that went around the state and kind of put a black eye on Shoshoni, and my officers in February, March, not so much February, March and April, stopped doing traffic citations. They just gave warnings. Not only warnings, but significantly reduced doing their job. And then so once I started looking at the stuff from Kathy, I said no more of that, get back to doing your job. What I'm talking about is someone doing 50 miles an hour through town, they'd be pulled over, get a warning, because we don't want to be a speed trap.
Which ironically, very shortly after that, you got blasted for not writing enough tickets.
Yeah. So that got corrected pretty quickly, but that did have an impact for a month or two on. I think Marshall kind of sees some of that stuff that he gets across his desk where some of the officers there for a while were giving probably significant, if they did issue a citation, it's all discretion. We don't have quotas here. I don't force them to write citations. It's up to them to decide what to do. But I think we get some people doing that time frame. We're doing, 50 plus through town. And I'm not talking on the exterior of town. I'm talking in town. And they would be reduced down to like 35 or 39 from 55, which has a significant impact on obviously the fine. But I know Marshall doesn't like us writing that on the citation, but we do anyway. But that was addressed, and we don't do that, but not to that degree, because that's not the purpose of what we're trying. But it did have a small impact on that. And we also had a very, very, very very light winter season for travelers this year. We had no snow. So the typical winter travel that we get through here for like snowmobilers and stuff, going to Toby and whatnot, was very, very light compared to the year before. So all those have impacts on that. But kind of like last year, since we had such a large influx in end of April, May, and June, $57,000, that's outstanding. A lot of that will come in this fiscal year that wasn't budgeted, so I expect it would probably offset a lot of that this year, kind of like it was 2 years ago.
Well, and then along with that, I talked to the place that we're going to be using in Casper for collections, not only for utilities, but he told me that they could also do heating, which I'm waiting to get with Kathy to give me the information, because there are a lot, and they can do skip trays, they could, it has the potential of bringing back a lot of the fines and fees that we should have had in our revenues, and we don't.
Any questions?
Yeah, they get suspended, but sometimes that's why it kicks in the next year before they pay and get cleared up. It's just waste.
I think we get a lot of calls, this wife about it when they lose, when their license gets suspended, then that gets their attention.
When you go to buy a firearm and you're
Right.
denied because there's a warrant out for your arrest for an unpaid. I know a guy, I don't know if he ever went back to Podunk, Idaho. They wouldn't let him pay it over the phone either. He had to show up in person before a judge. I don't know if he ever did.
Not that. Not that bad.
Yeah, so he's like, I just want to pay it. Like, now you got to show up. But yeah, he couldn't buy a firearm because of that.
Someone's mad at him, they make him come all the way back. I don't know. Or it's really fast.
I don't know.
Or PD, I think we talked about our last meeting, did we or not, the recognition Shoshoni PD got for. We went over the force, was that it? We've already talked about that, right?
Oh, yeah. We wrote half of the citations for the task force.
And they,
But I mean, it's just in today's world, we all read social media and, it does have an impact sometimes on how you go about doing your job. And that's my job to, make sure my guys are doing what they're supposed to do. Not be impacted by that, but it did have an impact. It's a small town, so of course, things are amplified here. 5 people complaining sounds like the whole town's on critical.
any other comments, questions? Anything online? Nobody's online, okay.
Well, it wasn't YouTube now, they don't go to these
Yeah.
watch it on YouTube.
Let's watch it later.
Yeah, a lot of people watch it later, I mean, like comments. Yeah. Well, I guess we'll move on to the police chief, I guess that's you. Thank you, Kim.
If you close out of that and go back to your email, there's a police report, you want to see it, or you can look it up there. So. The other part of this component, we're also a lot busier with calls. So for instance, last year, our call volume for the month of July compared to 2023 was 110%, so more than double what we did the year before. That's call volume. 84% from 2022 and 21, 7% more. But for the year, We're 59% over at this point, 2023, 55 over 2022, and 29% over 2021. We did have 9 arrests during the month of Shoshone, 6 for controlled substance. Actually, that's 7 because one of those was actually 2 people. We had some non-US citizens transporting narcotics through town and happened to get stopped. And we had a couple of warrant arrests, which I guess we had more than 9 trips to jail though, because we also had some agency assist for other agencies like probation and parole that they periodically come over, check on a probationer, and then they issue a on the spot detention, so we have to transport for them. That's not really reflected here. But all that takes the officer out of Shoshone for 3 or 4 hours whenever we do arrest. We typically have 1, but we have a little bit of overlap too on, so that does have an impact on our coverage when that's arrest go up. Overall, for the summertime, I think we did a pretty good job with, we only had the 1 curfew issue. Didn't have a whole lot of problems with juveniles for the most part. Now, those have gone down over the years. Experience and the kids running around, running amok late at night, like we did before years ago, so that's continuing to be a good positive trend. We did have 3 more deployments with our canine, which kind of correspond with the controlled substance. And a couple domestics and 1 DUI. Continue to help out with the task force. Both the Fremont County Task Force and the multi-jurisdictional task force were. The difference between us two again is the DUI task force, why they call it a task force, we serve within our own jurisdiction bound, venture out. The multi-jurisdictional task force, while having the same basic mission, but then we all come together in one jurisdiction or another. We had one event over here, Shoshone, I think if you remember here a couple of weeks ago, somebody was pulled over. Lander was here, Bremerton was here, Sheriff's Office, Highway Patrol, Shoshone, and we were.
I saw that.
One person I think got pulled over 3 times getting from B&K to Shoshone. So I didn't want to get home. Which, it was a minor thing, but we're looking for DUIs, so there's that many police officers out there. You have a headlight out or something.
I
you
saw
gotta
that.
Stop, so.
River.
Wrong time.
It was a couple Fridays ago, I think it was in Riverton.
Yeah,
Every corner there's somebody getting pulled over. It's like, oh, nice, Riverton.
and so that's been a really, we were Fremont County was really the first in the state to have a multi-jurisdictional task force, which has now gone statewide. So I think there's 6 or 7 counties that have taken our model and the state has expanded it out throughout the state to other counties and cities. So we were kind of the test subjects, and the results we've had 1 DUI fatality in Fremont County. So.
Well, and they just did that.
Well, yeah, but
That's really nice.
yeah, I wasn't in the TV commercial. I was busy, so I sent another officer to be in the TV commercial. So I wonder why I'm not in that one. Apparently I have a face for radio. I don't know, but I was busy. But the impacts of that in Fremont County, I think, are striking when you look at the stats from previous years, going from 13, 15 fatalities in 1 county. Fremont County was the epicenter for DUI fatalities, DUI arrests, DUI completely on a national per capita. That's kind of what gave us the impetus to do this. And the results, I think, are speak for themselves. And if we can maintain this, going from having more than half of the state's fatalities with DUIs in just 1 county to being
One of the lowest, yeah.
in a single year or 2 years, I think that speaks to all the law enforcement in this county and their efforts they've done on trying to address this issue. So, and that continues to be another avenue that we are trying to make an impact on, among other things.
I know I seen Kyle Butterfield, city manager, Riverton, they're gonna express his thanks for the Shoshoni PD coming to help Riverton out when they're having their shortage of officers over there.
Yeah, I think they've pretty much been good here last month or so. We haven't had to help them, but other than, you know, the task force stuff, as far as
Right.
where they're taking calls.
So tell me about what your school starting in 10 days or so. What are your plans for that enforcement? Are you gonna have more people out or just? Because Idaho would help, man, people get really hit hard fast.
So, yeah, so my plan is myself and I'll have a day officer. So since we are fully staffed right now, I'm able to kind of float around. I'm not having to be a dedicated shift 5 days a week. More like 2 days a week, I have to be on a dedicated shift, and the other 3 or 4 days, whatever, I'm able to move my time around from town hall admin stuff to patrol. So on those days, we'll have 2 of us out in the morning time, trying to track, and then of course in the evening at 3 o'clock or the afternoon when the school's released, trying to do what we did last year. We're having a good presence there to try and keep people from speeding through Maple, 7th Street, in California, on their way to and from school. That includes school teachers, and they get really mad when we pull them over, but they're not special. They should be
That's
the ones
right.
doing the speeding. They should be setting the example and not complaining about getting pulled over. But, we will be doing strict enforcement. I'll probably put something out there, at least on Facebook, just a reminder. And try and get people to just be mindful that kids are gonna be walking around in the morning times. And, you know, the speed limit in town is 20, not 30. And just be safe. You know, the last thing we want is another accident or have anything like that happen, especially at the beginning of school when people aren't really in the mindset, like you said, they're just used to driving and they're in a hurry
That's
or
it.
whatever. And so, yeah, no, that's a good idea to put that office. Luckily, we have an SRO, so, you know, he'll be out too.
Anything else for the chief?
With stickers, I assume.
Stickers and candy and, you know, smiles, I guess. I don't really know what SROs do.
I don't know.
Sit in the office all day. I don't think
Ours
they do
is a
anything.
snake power.
Loaf, probably.
No, he's, luckily we had Cody Myers, and Cody continues to help kind of educate him and bring him along. So he's been focused on getting his plan together, and getting all this training done that he needs to get done. For the school years.
Cody is one of the organizer help, you know, putting on this shoot we're having. She said the college, and the other one is Mark, here in the audience, Mark Nordine is also part of that. They help put that on safely.
So. Yeah, I mean, it's really nice that all the different quasi-governmental agencies, organizations, governments, PDs are just the cooperation and collaboration that we've had here in the last year on all fronts. While we sometimes disagree, I think the overall end goal remains the same, and it's been really nice on all fronts, not just from the PD, but from all that. It's been a good thing.
Anybody, anything else? I think your department is doing a great job for us, chief. Appreciate all of your hard work. Councilman Stetler, do you have something you'd like to share with us?
No, not at this time.
Councilman Zant,
No,
Councilwoman Harkey. Councilman Demick.
Nope.
Good. Marshall, could you share a little bit with what we found out about the fiscal training that's required by all officers.
Yeah, so after doing a bunch of statutory research and talking with the state auditors, they're pretty adamant that it is required and not taking the course is breaking the law. And staying, unfortunately, one of the issues is the only way to deal with that and removing a non-appointed person or an elected official is through a court action. So,
It's not an easy fix.
no.
Mike, did you have any luck on picking up, get your certificate done?
I have the email right here.
You got it? Excellent.
Had a big grin.
Well, I have her email right here.
And you got her
I
email.
have her email right here. Mhm. From Mark Pepper.
What I'm taking from this is that it's required.
Right, this,
No
this,
switches.
yeah, this is the one that you sent me with the link for.
Oh,
for the-
yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
That was the March one. Yes,
Mm,
back in March when I sent it out. Originally.
mhm.
It's really not hard to be in compliance with the law and do your
It's
job.
really super easy. It's quick.
I'm kind of embarrassed for you.
I'm embarrassed for me too.
You should be. You can do this. You
You
need
do
to
hard
do
things.
this.
Should have done that instead of coming to the meeting tonight.
Well, as long as you do it, man.
Sure.
I mean, it doesn't take that long. It's required by law. Step up.
I'd like to be telling we're all in compliance. That would be a good thing.
I
So-
went to the thing twice on the stage. I did. That was, once wasn't enough.
But it takes about an hour and a half.
I don't know. I listened to videos while I was
We're gonna have to.
gainfully employed and took a quick test at the end. I don't know.
Careful, those Shoshoni too.
I'll
Well,
say.
I just found out I got appointed on school board in Hot Springs County.
Oh,
Oh,
you gotta
gotta
have-
take it.
Yeah,
It's not that bad.
Do you have, do
Seriously.
you have the link for it? So that's what it's not in this email.
Okay, I will,
You can send it to Marshall too.
yeah. I'll pull it up on my computer in the morning, first thing, and send it to you.
That'll be the link for it.
Yep. It'll be the current one.
Hmm.
Yeah. Cause I know when we were working on getting it for Tammy, it was, they changed it. And so, yeah, I'll send you the current one. And it really isn't that bad. It's quick. You took it, right? Bob? No, you went to the class.
I did coding.
Yeah,
I did the classes
Yeah.
also. This is much easier. They've made it much easier for
I
you to
think so.
take it.
yeah. Yeah, it was quick. Well, cause I went with,
Okay.
we were in the same class. And I
Coding.
ended up having one in Cheyenne and another time with Melissa. And I'm like, wow, been through this.
I did the class in Cheyenne and then like a month later, they changed it.
Yeah.
You went,
Yeah.
we both
Yeah.
did that.
Yeah,
Yep.
And then like a month later, they changed it so it didn't count.
yeah.
Okay, well, I think we'll make sure Mike has the proper information.
Yeah,
where
I'll
we can-
send
we
out
can
the
take
email
it.
to both Marshall
Okay.
and my, perfect.
We talked a little bit about the restroom line, you know, about the plugging up every 3 weeks or a month or whatever. We should fix that. And, need to go over, and we talked over, I think we had a plan on, we're probably gonna go out, I think my last conversation be best to go out the north side. And,
Instead of their PD.
yeah, instead of through PD, I prefer that. Huh? So go down and we can, we're not having any issues on the bathroom by the PD or the one on this end. Where the issues with that one's there, the ones up front are working. So if we pick this one up, this will pick up that one and pick up the sink. And everything else seems to be working. That's the cheapest and it should do, they think that should make everything work then.
I thought you were a water fountain.
And the water fountain, we got the electric in, we hopefully in the next 2 weeks we'll have it in.
I figured you'd have that done by now.
And that's my fault. I haven't pursued it as hard as I should. Kim's reminded me more than once.
Well, the box sit down.
Yeah, I know, I
Yes,
stumbled on
that's
it
what
a
I
couple,
keep
I
saying.
stumbled
Can we
on
get
it
rid
a
of this
couple
box?
times.
Put it in the doorway to the mayor's office.
But I told the electrician they get time, you know, or not the plan, the plumbers get in there, but I need to be a little more explicit about it. Anyway, it's my fault. I'll admit, but we need to get that done. So I'm gonna. We've had a couple estimates, a couple people, plumbers talk about it. I can ask some of the plumbers always looked at it locally and have them give us an idea or I know we've had a couple, one is who,
B&M,
huh?
B&M,
B&M and what was the other one?
was it top
It-
priority?
Top, I think the B&M, I think that's the one that we've done the
They're the
most work
same.
with, that gave us a,
Same company.
They gave you 2 bids.
I was thinking it was.
but anyway, I think we ought to probably go ahead and try to do this before winter here in the near future, you think?
And sunny side.
Everybody on board with that?
It shouldn't be very much.
They're all the same. group.
How much retainer we have left from their budget?
Oh, yeah. 'cause-
We withheld 11,000,
That'll cover this.
11 or 13,000.
That-
Well, here's the thing though, that's an old budget year that's no longer,
Yeah,
well, we didn't put it in this budget, so,
As you.
you know, maybe one of those things where you'll have to look at,
Yeah.
do we keep it within the confines of our existing budget and just reallocate other funds if it's already allocated, move it around like we've done in the past? Or do we we have room to add to our budget.
yeah, I think we got a tight budget this year.
We
I
do,
don't think we have much wiggle room,
I
right?
know we have a lot more.
Well, we do.
Because of some of these things, when we were doing it, some of the numbers that, Mike and I presented and put out there. I don't know off the top of my head, but I think we under allocated like $50,000 this year. Versus the reduced. I know that the revenues were reduced quite a bit. From one year to the next. But the budgeted outlays were even less. Overall, and it left like $50,000 that was unbudgeted. Compared to 3,000 we had last year.
Okay. I think the number that comes to mind on this, I think one of them was like $16,000.
We're still talking about the water fountain?
No, I'm not
Oh,
talking water
geez, the
fountain. I'm not
sewer
talking, oh yeah, I'm not talking water fountain. I'm talking about the line,
Your water.
sewer line. That was the one I'm talking about, not the
Your
water
water
fountain.
fountain.
Okay.
And the water fountain's near 1,000.
Yeah, so
1,100.
that would.
Okay, that's, I just want to know.
Well, that's what you was asking
Yeah.
about. I was thinking the
I'm
more
sorry.
money, the sewer line, that's,
So they're.
but
that was every-
originally,
That would eat up all that retainage.
Yeah.
And probably plus a little bit from our
But-
side.
Well, that water fountains, tied in with a different line than the sink, correct?
And that's retained for that.
Okay,
But this, we, on our estimates, we had a cost. What, if they would have done it during construction would be the cost. And how much extra would be, cause now they gotta pull up carpet and all that stuff, how much extra would be to do it now? So it's cost more to do it, we'd have had to pay for it originally. But there's a difference between the two, which might have been $4,000 or $5,000 or something like that.
But as far as budget goes, we're gonna have to put that into the budget.
Right.
Or reallocate some
okay,
funds.
that was my question.
Yeah.
It's there.
Yeah.
Okay, will cover it. Okay,
So,
At $200 every 3 weeks or.
right, yeah, we can pay.
It's just,
So I'm gonna go ahead and, if with blessing of the council, I'll move forward on that.
it's not a choice. Really.
Sod in the front of the building. Uh. I don't know, I think you can put it down in the fall, but it's usually better to do it in the spring. Anybody more of a sod expert than I am, if I'm remembering that right,
yeah,
I've only done it once myself.
that is hard packed. That has to be dug down
Right,
6, 8 inches at least.
yes,
Before you put a base in it.
Yeah.
That square out front.
yeah,
And then you'll have to put your sprinklers in at that time.
rest, correct,
And we'll fix the ones that are there now.
right.
Well, I guess brand new ones. I mean, I don't know what's been ripped up or left from. Yeah,
Pretty small area though, so it shouldn't be too hard.
Yeah, because it's getting really bad with that, the looseness of the soil out there, sand really. It's just, it's coming in the front area. It's horrible. And I personally go out there and sweep it a lot from in front of the door.
Some AstroTurf for the meantime. I
Yeah.
saw it was an office in Riverton today.
Of
That
course.
they had AstroTurf out in front of their little area and it was clean.
See, yeah.
It was done.
the other option is to go, xeriscaping. Forget the spot and put in rock and. You still have your sprinklers for plants in a pot or whatever and go that way. And it eliminates maintenance, a lot of maintenance. You just spray for weeds.
Aren't you still gonna have all the dirt though? Because the way the wind blows.
Yeah, straight across to the west.
Yeah,
There
positioning
does
of
some
the
weird
door.
stuff. Like
It's
it comes from four
horrible.
directions at once.
It's
It's weird.
horrible.
You put down pond liner. In the section, put the pond liner down and then put your rock on top of that. So the pond liner is typically non-permeable.
Yeah.
So the weeds, they'll grow right around the very edge of it, but
And they'll grow in where the sand blew in. Around the
Right,
rock.
yeah, they will.
Yeah.
Could we just put a moat around
The
it?
sand
and
drives
put
me
little
crazy.
Droppers that you drop in
It's
town
like,
all's open.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of.
One alligator,
Yes. You should see me out there sweeping that. I was like. Swimming in the water, Bill. You want it to look nice, you know, when people are.
what do you think, Jake?
I really don't know much about some.
When did we, I can't remember when we did it at the town plaza, was that towards the end of summer when we put that in?
Yeah.
Like July, August, I think. Can't remember.
I
I
don't
know it wasn't spring.
I have nothing educated to add to this conversation. I know nothing about it.
Spring. No. Spring and summer, yeah. So they have their own well, they just water that forever.
It's not cheaper in the fall. Spring, doesn't matter.
We could buy it local, cause it's not that much, but if we got any, a big order, the local guy couldn't handle it. That's how come we had to bring. I think we brought that in from Idaho, we got.
Yeah, but I think it was $8,000 for town plaza, if I remember. And saw
How much?
8,000.
Something like that, yeah.
Was that install and,
No.
We installed it.
oh. Because Mike's, cause I asked him for a copy of the, quote that he got. Remember when he gave his and he can't find it. So he's still looking. And I was thinking it was from the sod place.
Wheatland.
one. It's Wheatland,
Yeah.
yeah, and I thought it was the Colorado one, but it's Wheatland. So he's still looking for that quote. But I remember him saying it was 6,000. That included installation. And that was around the building.
Yeah, it seems kind of high.
That's high.
Doesn't-
Town Plaza, which is, I don't know, probably at least 10 times more in size, at least, maybe 20, was 8,000. Of course, we had to install it, but I think we can do it ourselves.
Yeah.
We have the equipment and I think we can do it ourselves.
Of course, remember, we don't have anybody under 60 years old in our in our maintenance, yeah, public works.
Notes this.
I mean, they ain't tough.
No, they can be tough, that's,
But they have the mini X's.
yeah, yeah. I put in some sod, but I was probably 55 when I did that. That was a lot of work. I got the sod from free when they took it out of the football field in Thermopolis. Come and get it.
But that little area, I mean, that would be nothing. That's taking not even an hour.
Yeah, no, that's not much.
Probably 2 pallets, maybe.
It's not, yeah, that ain't many, that's not a lot. We're gonna do any along the front too, is that the estimate came a little around the front?
Oh, that included the side?
Yeah,
Oh, that wasn't just that little patch up
No.
there? Okay.
That was for the patch out front, the side. Well, the front still continued, and
Wrapping
the
down the
side.
building.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's different.
a
then.
little more. Depends on many. So
Cement and cream.
I guess be making mine, we try to do it in September, October, I think. You can do it, Sam, but I think it's better, I don't know. Bob, you got more experience, what do you think?
I put it in now, I think.
Okay,
Cause I think they said like 8 to 12 weeks before freeze comes for the roots
Yeah.
to really take hold.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right now, it should be in place by
Okay.
first freeze. Well, you get early freezes in September, then kills your garden, but
right,
it'll be good through Halloween.
As, remember when we were doing that, they said we had to get it in before the ground freezes.
That's it.
Or the frost sets in, because if it doesn't, the roots haven't taken into the ground by then they don't, they go dormant, and then winter, summer comes, it's all dead.
Kim, do you have time to pursue that, or should we try to get
I'll
Mike
get
to
with
do
Mike
that?
again tomorrow.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. We'll do that then. Good idea. Just wanted to touch base on signage. We have no ordinance against having political signs up in the town of Shoshoni in the right of way. I just want to make that. I think everybody's educated about that. I just want to bring that up in case there's any questions. I want to talk a little bit. We do now have 2 letters of intent on people, different entities with interest in purchasing the old town hall. Or just, this is early, the first one, I showed it a week ago Saturday. They followed up with Friday that I got a letter of intent they wanted to pursue purchase. We have had some discussions Monday about it. And then we also got Dave passed on another letter of interest to me today. Just initial, just sort of the initial view is sort of similar to the first letter we we got was sort of a bigger view, and they got a little more information on this one. Uh, you know, both projects look like very good projects from what I see so far. So we got, I think, two viable entities looking at this, at our property. I think that there's a good chance at least one of these could go through. I mean, think two good projects. And so once I sort of get more information, I know I've been asked specifically by one to refrain from getting into much detail or for who they are at this time. There may be concerns with competitors and other things involved with this. But one has something to do with the medical field. But they wanted to, while they're working through things, they don't want to go further than that. As soon as I get more information, we get more into it, and we'll just work on it and see if it's viable. And then I will hopefully be meeting with the other entity in the near future and work more on that. So I think that's really good news. On the economic development front, I think that's good. There again, we already talked about the shoot that's coming up. Probably something I don't really need to talk about. I wanted to, but I can't remember what it is. So and anybody else in the audience, anybody else have anything they'd like to add before we adjourn? Nobody else have any comments? I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make the motion.
Been moved by Councilman Hartke to adjourn. Can I get a second? Anybody?
Second.
Second by Councilman Stetler. Further discussion, none being, all in favor, say aye. Aye, opposed, the same. Meeting adjourned, 8:15 PM. Thank you.